Hello everyone, today I'm gonna present my progress in my master thesis, so let's start. Um, in this presentation I will focus on my progress on the master project as it has a major weight, but firstly I will do a quick recap on the thesis and the objectives. As this overview is about how to create a successful design from real historical site as a base for the game environment. And for the objectives, the first one is to find a guideline for a good level design fundamentals. Also observe the technical approaches for accurately visualize the historical site, highlight the non-architecture aspects and its effect on the final result, and all of these objectives will accomplished through creating a playable prototype. And the project overview, the project will be a 3D first-person shooting and combat prototype based on an existing historical site as a basic landmark for the game environment, to apply the level fundamentals on it and to extract a real historical event as a source for the gameplay. And after applying the selection factors on the number of sites, I settled on Schlossberg in Divaba to be the main landmark for the project and my case study. Also, I settled on the related historical event, which is about the 30 Years' War, as I mentioned at the end of the previous presentation. And now I will start talk about the updates. I start working on the game background story to guide me to determine the gameplay. The game background story, it will be about Hiller, the game protagonist, one of the Roman Grayson officers. After the Grayson commander's death in the beginning of the Swedish troops attack, he will bravely lead the Grayson soldiers to defend the castle and repel the attacks of the Swedish forces. And for the gameplay, I still don't have a concrete gameplay scenario with a fixed missions, but this is a primarily ideas as the gameplay will be shooting and combat as I mentioned. But I propose in the beginning of the level, the gameplay will be a solid shooting, as Hiller will be moving from point to point behind the castle walls, trying to accomplish the tasks that his commander ordered him to do, and it will be like an introduction for the game universe, player abilities, mechanics, and other gameplay basics. And after the death of the commander, the gameplay will be reformed to be a combat, as a group from Swedish troops will break into the castle, and Hitler will engage with them in melee and ranged combat. The expected gameplay duration will be from 20 to 30 minutes. And for the art style, it will be a realistic art style with emphasize the aesthetics of the visual, which will be extracted whether from the architectural or non-architectural elements, or from the historical events and related era. Currently, I'm in collecting references phase, as I collecting references and create some primarily concepts for the basic characters and weapons, just to settle on the game basic characters and their costumes and weapons. Also to determine fixed workflow to produce these assets. Main character Hiller, an imperial soldier, one of the Grayson's musketeer. His age from 25 to 30 years old, 180 to 185 tall, athletic body shape. I have made a concept for this character, and this is a process from the outline to the final result. This is the final result. I edit the costumes based on this reference for a German musketeer. Also, I collected some references for the game antagonist, General Bodasan, the commander of the Swedish troops. His age will be from 40 to 50 years old, 170 to 180 tall. He has an oval body shape. Also, I had made some rough concepts for the Swedish musketeer and big man, just to settle on the costumes, shape, and colors. and that's based on the provided references for the Swedish soldiers during this era. And also, I collected some references for the weapons that had used in this war, and it consists of melee weapons, which will be limited to sword, pike, and battle axe. Ranged weapons, it will be pistol, rifle stand, and gunpowder boot. Also, the high damage weapon cannons. And based on these references, I modeled a sample of the cannon, and this is screenshots from the modeling, and this is a final result with textures. Also for the landmark Berg in Devapa, actually I was looking for an old images and drawings for the landmark to determine precisely the old form and the layout of the landmark to get closer to what was the shape of the castle and surrounding area. And this some images and drawings that I found. Uh, Also, I was interested to find some colored images to understand the walls, materials, and colors. And finally, some clarifications. For the landmark modeling, I'm planning to use a photogrammetry modeling technique for the sake of accuracy. And for the surrounding forests, intend to use free assets from Arlene library. And for the minor and secondary characters, I'm intent using a basic rigged characters from that studio and design the costumes in Marvelius to accelerate the pipeline. That's what I have done so far. Thank you for listening.